What up? What up? We live. We live. It's Seed Talk, stuff to make your seeds walk. You know how we do. Shout out to all y'all out here. You know how we do. When this airs, make sure that you all are, you know what I'm saying, sharing and commenting. For all my people out there on YouTube, make sure that you are subscribing to the podcast and whatnot, encouraging people. If you want to donate, please go ahead and donate to Cash App, $ Logic Amen, Venmo at Logic Amen. You know, it pays to be on the plan that I'm on StreamYard. So go ahead and contribute to this. I got a very special guest. We're gonna have a part two. I already know, because we want to talk about like health, like healthcare, self-care, the importance of taking care of yourself. And so we have a massage therapist. I'll let her introduce herself, give a little bit of where she grew up, and why self-care and healthcare, of course, but particularly self-care in the form of massage therapy and stuff like that is important to our community. So I'll let her introduce herself and whatnot.
Alrighty, you guys. Hey. I am Tamarahyah. I go by Tamarahyah on most social media. But I am a licensed massage therapist, esthetician located here in Tacoma. I have been licensed for 8 years, in business on my own for 7 years. And what I do is majority of what I do is massage therapy, and the level of massage therapy is based on reduction of stress, anxiety. It's definitely about self-care. Even when it comes to me, because I am a licensed esthetician, my facials are relaxing, they're rejuvenating. It's about self-acknowledgement and things like that. So I am 100% about self-care, whether it's through dietary, exercise, or just taking an hour out of a month for yourself.
So I just want to do a little quick, history of where you grew up, to kind of set the kind of the genesis story for your superpowers and whatnot, and try to give some insight and some context of why you went into the profession that you did of self-care and teaching our people how to take care of themselves. So like I tell everybody, I'm a transplant from Cleveland and Cincinnati, born and raised in those two places, and moved here about 30 plus years ago. What's your genesis story?
So my genesis story starts off, I was born in Illinois. My family moved to Atlanta and to Memphis, and then we migrated up here to Washington State. The whole goal for being in Washington State was actually to move to Atlanta, but because of Mount St. Helens erupting, we had a pause. That being said, fast forward, I have 4 sisters, and me and my 4 sisters grew up in Bellevue, Federal Way, eventually Tacoma. And that's where our children went to school. All my 4 children went to Lincoln, graduated from Lincoln. I have my siblings, their children also graduated from Tacoma school districts, and the ones that weren't old enough, they migrated to Atlanta. Other than that, what got me into a massage therapy is because I used to do CNA for a Jerry Site facility. And I seen the negligence in how we treat our elders. And the sad part is I had my grandfather in a nursing home in Memphis, and he was neglected on. He ended up getting decubitus ulcers, or bed sores, as most people know, and passing from that. But
wow,
yeah,
I didn't know you can die from that.
Yes, infections of sitting too long and getting bed sores and things like that.
Wow.
Infections and stuff like that. When you're not rotated and when you're not cleansed and things like that, it can affect you, affect your immune system and your whole body. So that was one of a couple of things. I drove for Tacoma School District for 3 years. A majority of my clients were the sports team and ADA. And the thing that got me was driving for the ADA students. And I seen the negligence between the parents and the paras and things like that, where all I could say was these babies need positive touch, right? Because as a parent, you're stressed. As a parent, you're stressed. As an educator, you're stressed and dealing with various amounts of children, throughout the day and just can't give it up your all, but you're also drained yourself. And I just seen that, you know, they're not getting what they need through positive touch. So besides my grandparents, I seen that. Um, one other thing that got me into getting into massage is I had my first grandbaby on the way, and I recognized the emotional disorders or situations that was going on with my students on the ADA bus. And I was like, my babies are going to learn to take a time out. They're going to learn to take a pause, and they're going to learn to be able to say, I'm mad, I need space, I need time, and things like that. So that's actually what got me into massage. That's what got me
Mm.
into massage.
So can you thanks for sharing that. Can you tell us what actually goes on when you're actually massaging? Because people just think that, oh man, it just feels good. You're massaging the tissues. I've heard people say, oh, you're massaging all the toxins out. But can you give like just a brief like explanation and clarification of what actually happens when you're actually massaging someone to the actual tissues and their organs and all this stuff, and why that is so important for the human body,
For
particularly,
sure.
our people
For
who,
sure, for sure, for
yeah.
sure. Because with us as people, brown and black people, we don't do positive touch. We get mad if somebody we don't do the hugs. We get daps, but we don't do the hugs. We don't do the embracing. If we do, it's mainly the women. The guys feel weird, according to my observation anyway, of giving each other a hug, right? They'll do the handshakes, but usually it's not in the right context or the most positive of all contexts, and sometimes it is. But
Mhm.
it's all about the positive energy. It's all about positive touch. And when it comes to massage therapy, I make it so that my spaces, I call it a safe space, right? So one of the first things, if anything, that I tell my clients when they come in for a massage, a facial, body wrap, body foot detox, whatever, is I empower you and I ask you to own your body. Meaning speak up and say something if something you don't do, right? So with that being the case, I've held many titles as far as employment. So when I talk to my clients and I ask them what they do, majority of the time, I'm familiar with the everyday life that they're working with. I got backgrounds from flagger to construction to tile setting to plumbing to retail to CNA, all over. I'm one of them survival resume type people, so I could relate. And so when it comes to massage, when they come in, one, I try not to talk. Most people are there to relax and escape and get away from their everyday life. But I do have those parents that come in and they want to talk about anything but other than kids. So I relate. I just tell them, own your body, own your session. Whichever way the conversation goes, I'm going to follow you. If you want to stop talking and you want me to shut up, you shut up, I follow. Right? I respect that space. Um, but when it comes to massage therapy, the movement of muscles, the movement of tissue, the movement of joints, hydration. Everybody who knows me, all my clients know I'm gonna emphasize. There you go. I'm gonna emphasize water. I'm gonna emphasize your watery fruits. I'm gonna emphasize, getting out, walking, and getting your fresh air. Because if you do not have good blood, if you don't have good oxygen, you're toxic. Toxicity is another form of suicide to me. But you
Yeah,
know,
because like the majority of us is walking around dehydrated, and there's a
very.
difference between your body being, hydrated, but also the between like your cells being hydrated too, like your actual cells. I've been doing some
Mhm.
reading on that. I know we're gonna have to do a part two because I really want to really focus on one thing you said. I want to drop a breadcrumb and lay an Easter egg hidden in this for people to really crack open for real is when you
Mhm.
talk about us as men, and particularly black men. Um, we've been socially conditioned to say, "Ah, man, all that hugging and stuff, that's feminine, that's female, that's on some gay stuff." And women haven't been socially conditioned, really to a certain degree, for the most part. I
Right.
be seeing, young ladies that they'll dance with themselves, you know what I'm saying? They'll hold hands with each other.
Hmm.
I know a lot of men. I know a lot of men. If you ask them, would they be willing to accept a massage from another man? They'd be like, not so much. I'm good. What kind of impact do you think that it has on black men in particular when we decline and refuse to like hug, what I'm saying, another person, in particular another man? Like what kind of impact do you think, based on your work, that it can potentially have on our health?
You know what? To to decline and to say that I don't want to be worked on by another man is a mental and emotional barrier to me,
Mm-hmm.
because I would, and it's weird. I call it weird because I will purposely choose and support my male therapist, because I have seen where people, not just women, men and women, will decline a male therapist over a woman. And I don't know if that's insecurities or whatever, or ego or whatever, but I will purposely choose to go with a male therapist. We'll go with the male therapist. Now there are caveats. Excuse me, my daughter's calling. There are caveats to that, and give me 3 seconds. Give me 3 seconds, please. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hold on. I don't even know how to put some pause. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Yeah, we were just getting to the nitty gritty of it. Uh, our special guest, massage therapist Tamar, was really just explaining the impact that it can potentially have with males, in particular black males, if they're refusing, work. And she was just talking about how, just the dynamic of black males not getting that massage therapy and that kind touching, as she said, or gentle touching. How can it impact? I just know, particularly for me, I've crossed that barrier. It's not a barrier for me at all. I go over it, under it, or even through it. And the barrier I'm talking about is I've had male massage therapists, um I've had, of all different races. It doesn't really matter. Um, I'm secure in my sexuality and stuff. I'm trying to help me. Now, unless they're doing something that's really different and really uncomfortable, that crosses the lines of actual massage therapy, and it crosses the line and goes into, something of the nature of, something, romantic or sexual. I'm cool. I'm fine with a male giving me a massage, and I've had it done before. But I know you were, talking about, you were expounding on that. If you can remember where you left off before
Oh
you were
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
expounding.
could definitely remember, because I've had male massage therapists who do what we call feathering, where they're like super light. And I'm like, I thought you was gonna go deep. I thought you was gonna really get up in there,
Yeah.
and he was super soft. And then my favorite massage therapist right now, she beats me up. I got cupping marks from 2 days ago right now on my shoulders, and she does scraping. She puts the elbow in me, does her thing. But my thing is that as long as it's a safe place, as long as the therapist lets you know you're in a safe place, then I encourage you as much as you can to embrace massage. The only time I personally see clients embracing male massage therapists is when it comes to weightlifting and sports, because
Mm.
they know they finna get the business. They finna get the elbow in the spine, in the back. They finna get the cupping. They finna get the pain. But when it comes to relaxation and letting go, letting our ego go and things like that, it's a whole nother situation.
I think that's kind of sad, man, because it really marginalizes and stereotypes and stigmatizes black men in particular of like not being nurturers. And like
Right,
we're so aggressive and we can't be loving and stuff like that. I have no problem with that. I didn't had male loved ones that I just see in a lot of pain. And you just, you set that boundary yourself, but you see him in so much pain, it's like, damn, bro, you want me to, because we getting older. And
yes,
we getting older, and you just look at your brother and be like, man, I could help you out with that, what I'm saying? But you don't want anyone to feel some kind of way about it. So um you just you refer
yeah.
them to
We don't
someone
want to know
else,
that
or
they already they're able to take you down, right? You
yeah,
want to
I
be
just don't want
strong
I just
and
don't like anyone
confident and all
feeling
that.
I just don't want anyone feeling uncomfortable, what I'm saying, in a situation, man. But I actually go out of my way if I see brothers, that I learned known for a long time. I'll give them a hug. I got
Right,
I got two sons, I got brothers too. So instead of us, being happy that I see you, and the way I show it that I missed you is me going into like us a sparring match and us wrestling, I'm just gonna give you a hug. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right,
Because
right.
that's why us men, we do that. We're gonna disguise it as I'm gonna wrestle with you and I'm gonna do something that's super duper masculine, because for me just to give you a hug and tell you I love you, it's just too feminine.
Right.
So
It's in my opinion, I'm guessing you guys are you guys are feeling a little bit weaker than,
mm,
when you say that's my brother right there. I love him to death. This is my bone, my backbone. This is
yeah, yeah,
my number one H Boone Coon, whatever, whatever. And so I just embrace when I see it. I
right,
embrace when
right.
I see it. I embrace when I see brothers giving hugs. I love the first day of school and the dads that are chanting on the students to come in, and they're coming and walking down the lanes, and all that. So for me, I empower and I embrace all my clients that come in, male, female. I let them know, own your body, do what you need to do. And if at any point you feel uncomfortable, I need you to speak up. And it doesn't mean you're a wuss. It doesn't mean you're a wimp or anything like that. Um, but I need you to be responsible for yourself. And unfortunately, a lot of my clients have hidden traumas. And so the thing called emotional release is when it's revealed.
Mm,
Whether doing a massage and all of a sudden somebody is ready to cry, or doing a massage or a facial, because facials can cause that too if I'm doing a massage in a certain area. The traps here, even in the ears, ear massage is something totally different. It's a whole new experience for most men. And to get in there, it releases a lot of emotion. The emotion can come out in the form of crying, the emotion can come out in the form of anger, the emotion can come out in laughter, and that happens, right? So it actually makes a difference. So I encourage, and I'm always out there like, hey, with my brothers, I need y'all to come get a facial, learn about skincare, learn about self care, and things like that. So
mm.
yeah,
Yeah, shout out to you. That was good. That was good. I'm really looking forward to a part two where we can get really, really dive into it, and maybe have some other people on the show and set up a little panel and talk about the importance of touching, because you're dropping some breadcrumbs and some Easter eggs right here. Like I didn't even know. I would like to even know more in depthly about that. Like she started massaging your ear and she crap up some trauma on me, and I start boohooing.
and then I'm gonna embrace it, right? I'm gonna embrace it. He's funny. I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna be quiet. If you need a minute, let me know. I do all this prep at the beginning of the session,
Right,
so you
right.
know you're in a safe place. If
Yeah.
during the massage or during the facial, you feel a certain way and you need a minute, I need you to own your body and let me know. You're safe.
Mm.
I'm, especially when it comes to HIPAA, when it comes to with massage, HIPAA, the Privacy Act, right? I can't just go out and be like, yeah, and he was crying during his massage and things like that. I could get sued and shut down for that.
Mm-hmm.
One, that's not in my energy. That's not in my myself. But to know that you're in a safe place and you can say, you know what, my dad died and this happened, and my daughter died and this happened and this is that. and no, there's no judgment whatsoever. Just balance, breathing, release, and stuff like that. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to you. Why don't you go ahead and tell them how they can get a hold of you and how the whole process happens of how they can get some services from you and whatnot.
So again, my name is Tamarahyah. I am the owner and CEO, CFO of Rejuvenation Junction Massage Spa Services, located here in Tacoma. I'm in Tacoma, Washington, off of 40th and M Street. I am by appointment only. If you go to rejuvenationjunction.com, if you hit me on DMs on Instagram or Facebook or Google or whatever, you can always go ahead and book a site or excuse me, book a session. I customize every massage, every facial, every detox according to what you have going on in your life and what you're actually willing to do. And when I say willing to do is there's things that you should be doing, but realistically we know you're not going to do. So we customize. I customize. It's just me. I customize my sessions with you. I create sessions with you based off reality for you. So there you go.
Awesome, awesome. So let's set up a time for a part two. We
Yes.
usually do a plan of action and our homework at the last part, and I would just say your homework and your plan of action is do some kind of self care, whether you hitting up um, sister for the massages on our website, but make sure that you are attending and addressing your trauma and whatnot. So that's your homework for today.
There you
This has
go.
been Seed Talk. We got out. See us next time.